To the outsider, the new subgenre of SoundCloud rap might seem intimidating, or even strange, but it doesn't have to be that way. In the spirit of investigative journalism, I disguise myself as a SoundCloud rapper under the alias Young Snack in order to gain a better understanding of the industry and how it works. After achieving huge levels of success and developing an extensive network of connections within the field, I am now ready to reveal what I have learned about the mysterious world of SoundCloud rap by bringing you the stories of the people behind the music. My name is George Snedden, and thank you for joining me in SoundCloud's finest. During my intense research into the SoundCloud industry, I learned that if a rapper really wants to be successful, they need to work with a producer. Producers can help by providing original beats, mastering songs, and even sharing a little bit of wisdom with the artist.
First of all, I have so much jewelry. I got more jewelry, and it's not even about the jewelry.
In an effort to learn more about the production side of SoundCloud, I reached out to local producer Danny Campise. So my team and I, we are currently on our way to Danny Campise's studio. Jennifer, are you familiar with DannyCampBeats? Yeah. You are? This is his story.
This is now on, just so you're aware.
So, I mean, since it's SoundCloud rap too, like, I was thinking whether or not I should censor talking about, like, selling weed and all that shit. I mean,
if you want to talk about it,
right,
and you're cool about it, then...
I don't give a fuck. I mean, most people know my story from Simmons, and most people were like, oh, Danny was that kid, so, like... Yeah, I want it to be, like my whole goal is to, like, bring the stories of the people behind the music. Word. All right.
So, anything you want to talk about?
I got no cap with it.
Alright, sounds good. Welcome to the first episode of SoundCloud's Finest. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined with Danny Campise. Danny, so how long have you been into music production? Like, how did you first get started?
It was probably around like the end of my senior year when I started. Like we were talking about off the camera, I was gonna go to college for computer science rather. And I was writing all my college essays, and it's like, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to come to our school? And I'm like, I don't. Yeah. This just sounds like bullshit. It all started with me and my friends. We all used to, like, you know, fucking smoke blunts and freestyle in high school. Like, all right, well, we need real beats. So I was the one kid who had the kind of technical knowledge and the equipment. So I was like, maybe let me expand and try actually creating the instrumentals that we're rapping over, rather than just jacking them off YouTube. You know?
Yeah. In 2019, there are more people than ever trying to get into the music production field.
Right.
In general, what sets you apart from everyone else?
Like I said, I think it's just the mentality of everything. I mean, I feel like a lot of people now, everyone wants to be a rapper, everyone wants to be a music producer, and it's like, why? What is your reason for it? And a lot of the time it's, oh, the clout and the chains and I want Instagram followers.
Yeah. Whereas
for me, it's like, similar to you and with the podcast, I want to build a platform, I want to have a voice, and like, you know, I want to be heard. I want to spread a message and really like put out positivity, because a lot of people, a lot of rappers are doing it for the wrong reason. In my mind, I mean,
who would you say are some of your role models or inspirations when it comes to music production?
When it comes to production, I mean, definitely like it all starts with like Pharrell and Timbaland, like those type of early, like late 90s, early 2000s beats. That is what, like, I grew up, my dad was kind of into hip hop and stuff and that West Coast sound. Because my dad lived out in Cali. I was born in California. I moved when I was 2, so I don't really remember anything. But just the culture in that. So like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and it's funny like saying that now. But and then more modern stuff, like there's this electronic producer a lot of people don't know, Kaytranada. He's like one of my top influences as a producer. So one of my big things is like, I feel like history repeats itself every 20 years, like whether it's fashion or trends or, you know, and I always try to, I don't want to be the person now, like everyone's making trap beats.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person who's just, you know, okay, I'm hopping on the bandwagon, I'm doing what's popping now. I sort of look towards society and culture, I'm like, what's the direction? Where are we going? One of the big things me and Rick always talks about is the 2020 era. Like, I really think that, you know, if you think about what the music was in the early 2000s, like I said, Pharrell and Timbaland, all these people, it was bouncy, it made you want to move. Now music it's trap, it's dark, Atlanta's dominating, I feel like it's escapism for a lot of people. Like, I feel like music, it's let me put in my earbuds and I don't want to think about anything because my life, like, I have shit going on. Whereas it used to be like, it's lyrical, it's motivating me, it's inspiring me. So I think, you know, around 2020 and onward towards like the 2030 era, I feel like music is gonna be more open, more positive. There's gonna be real messages, like people are gonna be dancing. It's not just gonna be like the same old flows. Like people gotta get tired of that eventually.
What does the future hold for you? And
for me, I mean, I have a project called Catch 22 that I'm gonna release February 22nd, 222.
Nice.
I'm weird with like numerology and numbers. Like I see 222 every day, like whether it's on the clock or like, and I take a lot of meaning from that. Most immediately I'm putting that out. And then after that, because there was a point like for the past year or two, like I said, I wasn't taking music serious. I was in kind of like some toxic relationships, and just my mentality on things was wrong. I wasn't waking up early, I wasn't grinding, like I just was like, I want to make it, but it's like, what are the steps you're taking to really make it, you know? So now I've kind of flipped the script, and this project is basically me talking about all that toxic stuff I was going through, and I sort of want to put that out almost as like a form of therapy, just like get rid of it, talk about all that stuff. And then in the further future, 2019, 2020, like I want to start putting out that positive music and embodying that positive message. And like, I feel like getting this out of the way first though is crucial, because it's like, all right, this is where I was, this is how my head was, I was messed up. Now I get that, it's like catharsis, it's, you know, healing through art basically. So get it out, let the people hear it, and then just move on. It's cool, I'm still like a little bit shy about it, but I think this is gonna be a good opportunity for me to like, you know, like let people know, all right, I'm here, I'm making music too, you know, it's not just me making beats for other people, because, you know, I value my own message too.
when did you realize that what you had was something special? Like, when did you realize it could be a career instead of just a hobby?
I don't know, I don't really think it was ever, once I committed to not going to college and to do music, there was no going back. So I kind of buckled down and went 100%. It was just like, there is no plan B. Like, when there's that much pressure, it's a lot scarier, but at the same time, I feel like it's also more gratifying, because it's like, wow, if I don't make it, like, I might be homeless, I might be on the street, or I might have to move back in with my parents in Cinematography.
Are you worried about that, or do you think you're making the right decision?
I totally think I'm making the right decision. I mean, obviously, like, every creator has their fears. It can be scary. There are those days where I'm down on myself and I'm like, what am I doing? Maybe I should have just went to college, but you know, those are ultimately just doubts, and it's like, once you kind of push those out of your mind, it's like, okay, I got this.
And actually, I saw on your Twitter that you just made your first beat sale.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my roommate Rick about that, and it's like, that was a crazy feeling for sure, because, you know, I've been doing this for like years now, and it's, for a long time I was taking it like, I wasn't taking it as seriously as I should have. Like, my mentality was very laissez-faire, very laid back, and I was just like, it was more of a hobby. And then recently, as like money's been getting tighter, I'm like, okay, I need to, you know, really buckle down. And I collaborated with some kid from like Germany or whatever, hit him up on IG, and we finished a beat together, and it's the first one that actually got a sale. And it's like that, it was like something petty, like $30 or whatever, but that was the most amazing $30 I've ever made.
So who are some of the local artists that you collaborate with? Like, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
One of the biggest artists I'm working with right now is its.sco, its.sco on Instagram. He's awesome. He's like, I was talking about, he's one of those Philly artists, and he's really woke and just always is helping me push the envelope. I can always be real with him, and if I have any doubts, he always kind of, we work through it together. Yeah, I think collaboration is, like, a quote I've heard recently is collaboration builds genius. So like, collaborating has actually really pushed the envelope for me as an artist. And then Mother X Teresa on Instagram, I think it is, she's like, her talent's unreal. I think she might be one of the first to really like get some recognition around here. Her sound is unbelievable, and I'm curating a whole project from the ground up with her. So yeah, we're working on that really hard behind the scenes. Yeah, she's a singer, but like, I would say predominantly a lyricist. She really, like, she's got bars. I just feel like with women in general, in society too, music aside, like, I've just been noticing a rise of like the divine feminine. You know, all those social topics people have been talking about, like, it's just gearing more and more towards like women are in control. And I think it's really awesome to like, I'm all about it, like pushing that empowerment too. Because my biggest thing is I always want to empower any artist I work with, but especially, you know, it's like, I know that there is those fears and those things, so it's like, I'm always trying to empower women and like all artists that I work with.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Young Snack?
I actually haven't.
He's like a local SoundCloud rapper.
Okay.
I think that could be someone who would be really cool.
Yeah, I gotta look into him.
Yeah. I'll send you some information about it.
Awesome.
So just a few more questions. I saw on your Instagram and your Twitter bio, you put in there that you are a walking contradiction. What makes you a walking contradiction?
So that's me, and me with the 222 thing is like, it's all about dualities. My life, like even in high school, I was this AP student, you know, top 5% of my class, but then I'd be, you know, like after school I'm smoking weed, I'm rapping with my friends. Like I feel like I really am a walking contradiction or a walking paradox. And like even situations that have happened in my life, it's like I feel so strongly on one end of the spectrum and I can completely resonate with the other also. Because I'm an empath, like I really, you know, I can connect with other people's perspective. I'm really like emotional in that way. So I feel like I'm being, you know, torn in two completely different directions, and it makes me kind of feel crazy sometimes, but at the same time it also makes me feel like the most sane. It's a weird, like there's a contradiction right there. It's like I can connect with every perspective, but it's like, what am I? What do I really resonate with? And sometimes it's both. Like people talk about dualities, or it's like things are binary. It's either 0 or it's 1. The light switch is either on or it's off. What if you exist in both states, you know? And it's like, that's, you know, getting into some a little bit deep, but that's what I think about a lot. It's like, you know, how do I embody these contradictions while still remaining whole as myself? It feels weird, and trust me, I got a lot, my family, all my teachers, you know, giving me a lot of flack, like, you know, you can't, how are you not going to college? You can't take a gap year, you're not going to go back. And they were right, but at the same time, I don't regret it, you know, so embodying the contradictions.
Yeah.